How are you guys doing? Mm, sorry, just a second. All right. So, ugh, still got that little bit of a cough going on there. All right. So, non-farm came in. Um, we weren't wrong. We were actually looking for non-farm to have a big number here, but not much change, and it was a decent number. It was red, or I'm sorry, it was green. Again, we talked about this point three, meaning people are getting paid more money, which means they'll spend more money. Well, guess what? They made even more than what the expectation was. So, people making more average hourly earnings. The employment total came higher and the unemployment rate came down. Now, funny, some interesting job things out here. Strong U.S. jobs seen this month, but this was before the news actually came out. And and here they even mentioned that, this is just because the auto workers came back and there's expected to be nothing in the unemployment rate. So turns out they were a little bit wrong, right? They were a little bit wrong. Um, so yeah, overall, again, technically, I guess if you listen to some of these portfolio managers, we're doing 5 and 6 and 100 basis point cuts next year. Why? Why would we need to? Right? I mean, yeah, there's less job openings, but it's still, again, there's still only point 0.7 people. Not even a whole person per job. Right? The unemployment rate dropping. Right? So we're not killing everything. Hiring more people than they expected. And again, last time if it was 150, that shows an acceleration, not a decline. Now they said that this one was not right because the auto workers. And again, I thought it was great. One of the comments on his here is auto workers should not be included as unemployed because they have a job, they chose not to go to it, right? But there was actually some layoffs. They were like, okay, you're not going to come in. Well, I can't pay these people, so I'm going to lay some people off. So because of that, there were some people that got laid off. Um, those people were, those were actually some people that were unemployed, but the rest of the people were not. And then the average hourly earnings, making more money. That's not bad, right? Again, they're trying to fill those job openings. People are getting hired back for more. So that's awesome. But again, getting paid more, pro inflationary environment. So does this mean that the Fed's going to raise one more time suddenly as a surprise? No, no, not necessarily. But does it mean that, again, we're in for that, 100 basis point cut automatically? Are we dropping 5 times, 6 times? And again, some of the detractors from that statement, again, like how many times do they think that they're going to do this in a row? How many meetings do they think we have in one year? And do they think that we're starting in January? Like what? Right? This Again, this is a very strong dollar thing here, right? We're not crushing the United States economy. So, it's restrictive, it's working, but is it killing it? Are we going into a full recession? Doesn't appear so to me. Um, Especially the unemployment rate. And again, I don't like the unemployment rate, but the people that love it, yeah. But looking at this and looking at this and looking at this, the fact that to me that looks like an acceleration, you know? I mean, obviously the October one was the crazy one, but yeah. I mean, there was a forecast that was lower, and then it much, again, to me, it seems like it's improving, not going the opposite direction. We'll see what the preliminary consumer sentiment looks like. It looks like there'll be adjustment of the 61. No real difference between those two. I'm very curious to see the inflation expectations, right? Now, again, this is just a poll. This is what people believe. Um, and again, this is not based off of any hard data or anything like that. This is just, again, it's a poll. So it's, what does it feel like out there, right? Now I can tell you, I had to get gas yesterday, right? Um, Gas was 2.98, so I posted 2.99. I don't know, 2 weeks ago, something like that. It was 2.98.9, so kind of like right there, but not too shabby, right? Right? 2.98 for gas. It's not bad. I'm okay with that. Um, so we'll get that expectation. Then obviously late tonight we'll get some CPI data and PPI data in China, and again expected to be lower. Again, not bad for a year, on a yearly basis. Um, Seeing inflationary prices go that way. So overall, not bad. Now, no absolutely monstrous movements because again, a lot of this data was set up. Big one on the board is the pound yen 99 out there percentage wise. Um, Yeah, percentage wise, that's still probably the top one at 99. And we started to see that yesterday. You're starting to see it a little bit over here. But for the most part, you're seeing dollar strength, dollar strength. Again, this one is always a little bit more difficult. But dollar strength, dollar strength, dollar strength. And again, the euro rebounding back a little bit. We talked about the euro pound being low in the curve. Obviously, it pushed up a little bit, right? So yeah. Obviously, nothing tomorrow, nothing on Saturday, right? I did see, and I think I mentioned it yesterday. I don't know if I saw it yesterday or yesterday afternoon. Again, at the UN Security Council. They invoked Article 99. Basically means that, hey, listen, this is a serious problem. You need to bring it to the forefront right now. Um, doesn't necessarily mean anything beyond that, but it means that there has to, it is a enough of a trigger point that it needs to be something needs to happen, or there needs to be a determination or discussion, kind of like I think it's more of like a mandatory discussion. But yeah, yeah. They're invoking, for basically, dictating or mandating a ceasefire. Again, there's still veto power, but here's the thing, the United States vetoed the first kind of ceasefire. If the United States goes in and vetoes a second one, I mean, how does that look? It's like we know that the death toll is just it's staggering at this point. There's a difference between turning a park, turning an area of space into a parking lot, and that's what it's turning into. Internationally, I mean, there's there's numerous support for a ceasefire, whether it be humanitarian or just in general. Um, at what loss of life, And if the U.S. vetoes it a second time, what kind of enemies does that build? And there's actually, again, what he said was, if this continues, it's going to make peace even more unlikely, and it could actually threaten Israel's, sovereignty in general. Because the harder this goes and the longer it goes, the more extremists they're building. And again, I don't think he's wrong. So yeah, could something come from that this weekend? Potentially, maybe. You never know. Um, you never know, right? We're one day in a Hanukkah right now, so you never know, right? It's just something to keep on the radar, keep your ear out there. But, uh, right now, I think overall the markets are in a decent spot. Again, Friday, big data for non-farm. Again, a lot of people are, again, I think they're gonna do the ostrich method and just put their head in the sand, and be like, that's not a real number. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that, right? They're still gonna cut it 100 times next year, right? Um, and I joke, obviously they cannot cut it 100 times, but you got these people that they're, shock jocking it and explaining that, trying to be like, no, it's going to be six, it's going to be seven, it's going to be eight, right? They're all just adding in there. So, yeah, yeah. But pound yen, obviously the closest one, and we saw that was a big drop yesterday, another big drop down today. Now the VIX, again, for the most part, we didn't move yesterday, and you can see the VIX dropped pretty far down today. And the reason why the VIX is dropping, when you may say, well, wait a second, shouldn't it go up? Yeah, is this crazy? I mean, overall, the data is actually doing the right stuff. I mean, you see today's data, and you're like, this is awesome. People are getting paid. They're going to spend more money. That's awesome. More people got hired than we expected. Awesome. Unemployment rate went down again. Unemployment rate is a BS number. It's not a real number, but it went down anyway. Um, so there you go. Right. Overall, the indices they're all sitting in a positive. You may say, I don't understand. That was all really strong data. I mean, doesn't that mean they're going to like what? Lately, what we've seen is if you have really strong data there, the markets just tank because like, holy crap, they're going to raise interest rates even more. But right now, they're looking at that and saying, hey, you know what? This is not bad. So the reality is, this is a big shift. Not seeing these things all tank through the floor is a big fundamental shift. Because remember, good used to be bad, right? Not even a month ago. Good data like this would have sent the markets tumbling. They're like, holy crap, they're going to raise it again. What, right? This is way too strong. Holy crap, right? Well, guess what? The world's not ending. All the indices right now in the green. Again, ES up over 1%, NQ up over 1%, YM playing with that 1%. Russell a little bit of a laggard in there. And again, Russell may be like, I don't know. But at the same time, we got crude up 1%, almost 2%. Almost, we're playing with 70, 70. We're like, we're going the wrong direction, right? Natural gas going down, right? Natural gas going down, which I think is fine. Gold, what is gold at? 2000. Well, it's 2006. It's down 1%. And yes, gold took a big chop on that one. And again, not surprised. Does it mean that, they're going to raise? No, but it means that they're not going to cut at a faster level. And that's what we were kind of seeing yesterday. And I think we mentioned it. It's like, hey, listen, we're seeing all this weakness. Does that mean non-farm is going to come in strong and it's going to just hammer this one? And guess what? It hammered it. And what did it do with silver? Silver's up double what gold is. So that's exactly, and when I say up, I don't mean up. I mean, it's twice as whatever direction, right? Gold's down one, silver's down two. So it's double, right? And where are we playing with? 23.33, right? We were playing with 25 a couple days ago. So overall, I think we said that, hey, listen, this could come down to 2000. We're not far. We're striking distance, and that data was good. All right. But again, do I like seeing the crew thing up there, 2%? No, but I'm also not surprised. I you know, I think I said it. I think the biggest problem, I think the biggest problem with oil right now is with Putin in the Middle East right now, right? He met with UAE, right? He's meeting with Saudi Arabia. He's over there for one reason, right? They're cash cow. Obviously, supposedly he's over there talking about a number of different things, right? He's talking about obviously oil. He's talking about Israel, Hamas, right? I guess there was more sanctions put on Iran. He's building allies right now. He actually flew with fighter jets, which interesting article because I guess there's an ICC warrant out for him, right? But all the countries in the Middle East, they don't, they're not part of the ICC, so it's not like he's getting, they're not going to arrest him over there. But it's interesting that he is now. It just shows you after 2 years, he is able to travel and get around the world, and flanked by fighter jets. But he got there. He's meeting with world leaders that control OPEC as well as oil prices. So would I be surprised if this starts to maybe come up? Would I be surprised if we get a headline? No, no, I would not be. So yeah, so overall in oil, again, we're in areas buyers that watch this one very, very quickly. I'm sorry, right over here. We're in this area, so we'll see. I think oil will probably is going to be popping here a little bit soon. All right, so we were sitting here yesterday at 10:30. We're like, yeah, maybe we get the pullback, and we did. We got a little bit of a pullback down. Didn't quite go the 1 to 3, but we had been there before. And again, this little hit here, it's like, yeah, if it cycles back up, and it didn't. We talked about having a profit target right here. I'll send this across. I'll put it down so we can get a true reading on it. You can see it's copy, paste, and boom. How about that for a turning spot, right? And that's overall. Actually, it should be just a little bit higher. It should be right there because that's where the green touched right here. And you can see we touched it as well. Any surprise with this one? Not really, right? This is the old one. Let's remove it so there's no, actually, we did talk about that one yesterday. I tagged it. So it did. It tagged at 12:30 and then last night. So we had talked about the 6617. So with this kind of push right here, you can see this is where the data came out. The market was really not fooled. I mean, it kind of pushed it up and went down and came up and then pushed and then was holding. It had already cycled. Here is European session was sitting right there. Question is, was the market really fooled? And I don't think so. We were already bouncing off of a level. We knew it was there, right? I guess we could put it all the way down here. We knew we had that basing level there. Overall, this push, I think it's the right push. I don't think it's in the wrong spot. Obviously, profit taking was coming in. You would have actually put your profit a little bit higher. But am I surprised it turned here? No, not at all. It's going up right now. Does that mean we're going to see dollar weakness the rest of today? No, not really. Right? Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously it's the right spot for a turn, right? We had basing in there, right? That's what it hit. That's where the buyers were in. You can see a little bit of a touch there, which is kind of led it this way. Um, Large emotional push to the downside, right? I mean that candle is 51. It's got a 66 pip daily ATR. The total movement on the day since the European session started was 57. The switch here at basically midnight was one full day. So seeing this rally back up again, yeah, I think this is the right move. This is profit taking coming in. It's exactly where we had confirmed buyers stepping into the situation. Um, I think the big thing now is kind of wait for this to kind of wait for like a base, right? This is profit taking. I think once we start stabilizing, I think we push back down again. And really, I think this 62.26 really comes back into play. And it's been here before, but that's really kind of the next right there. Can I get one right on? Right. Just do it this way. Oops. Something along those lines, right? Yeah, I think overall 65.27 is really really where we're looking for the next buy. I look for a little bit of retracement back up again, but I think overall look for this to turn and roll back down again. It may not do it today. Like I said, you'll see profit taking come in and we'll probably start to stabilize a little bit. The fact that we put about 50% of the way through, we may be looking to take a short somewhere in this area. Um, and again, it's more one of these like if we get a base in here, look for the push and look for a push back down again. And again, that's just kind of leave that as a dotted line as a potential. And again, it may be here, it may be here, it may be here, but we need this to come back down again. Like I said, this is a trade setup. Probably not today, but it could be Sunday, could be Monday morning, right? Could be Monday morning early. Um, Aussie yen. So Aussie yen, we were talking about it coming down. It looked like it did. 1230. Aussie yen slammed all the way down. So it came all the way down. It tagged our profit target. It came back up, grabbed more, and then went even lower there. You can see that it didn't even really pause at the 23. We were talking about 95.80. Looks like we missed it by a little bit and kind of got front run there. It went a little bit early. So um, let's remove these right now. Yeah. See, we were talking about this. It's like not really clean, right? I'd say that that's the best of areas, but I don't love it. And we got this big wick, so let's pull. These are just see where we're at. Start. Yeah, so I kind of like this one to come down. You can see we have all the the Westpac changes and the business confidence and everything over there on Monday. Um, I like this one to continue to the downside. Um, Question is, where would you take it? I would say if you're problem with this one is the Aussie market's already closed. Japanese market is actually closed as well, but we're using the yen right now as a proxy. Right now, we are about 53 pips from a level that you could make some type of argument that it's worth taking a short from, right? You could say, hey, listen, there's a base, there's a touch, there's a confirmed level. Okay, does it match up fib wise? Nah, I mean, it may actually kind of from here where we broke a few levels. There could be a case made from here to here, and that would actually line up with like a 50% retracement level. And actually, it did. So it kind of does make sense. Um, Problem is, excuse me, if we push up about this far, that's a 4 hour ATR. That puts us at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday. Are we going to have time from 2 o'clock on for it to come up, hit that level, turn, and roll all the way back down again? Not so much. So right now, the way I would play this is say, okay, listen, overall, any type of shorts you're doing, come here, buds. What's up? My buds, come here. Hey, come here, buds. Stop. Sit on daddy's lap. You want everybody to hear you crying? Come here. Uh-oh. Oh, one sec, guys. Let me get him set up. Oh, what is that? You want that one or this one? Oh, okay, you do it then. Which one do you want? This one? I don't know what he wants. Hold on one sec. This one? Oh, dinosaur eggs? Uh-oh. That one? Okay. Shh, shh, shh. Okay, you shouldn't. That is lap. Be quiet. Um, so I think right now, overall, we're looking for a target down here at 93.86. We have two areas to sell from, and again, if we may get past this one, I think this is an okay place. Again, it was confirmed a little bit. We're going to turn it actually yellow in there. Um, right there, 95.44. Um, 95.80s again. I still like 95.80. I don't think it's bad. Again, it was a very firm base in there. It was a percentage right now. If you do take top to bottom, it does show up around the 6.318. So those are two decent levels. And again, I think the big thing on this one is look here, Friday, Sunday, right there. Where are we sitting? If we're sitting up at the 95.44, man, I moved it. I'm like, ah, here, let's bring it right back down. If it were sitting there, I think those are decent spots. Again, the 95.80 as well. And overall, looking for this to push to the downside. Again, because this is just purely a proxy play right now between gold and the yen, not a lot of extra play on that one. Euro dollar. All right. So yesterday we drew a big line down here at 107.28. And guess what? It came down and grabbed it. Now, unfortunately for this one, I love to say, guys, hey, listen, this was an easy trade setup. Unfortunately, the 830 candle is right here, this big red one. It didn't really give us the drive that we wanted. It was an area here that there was some basing, but we'd hit it here and hit it here and hit it here right before the news. It hit the target that we're looking for. We said, hey, listen, This is a profit target. Why? Because this is the candle behind the big push up, right? This is the target. And what did it do? It literally came down, went right past it, and then started the reverse back again. So, absolutely the profit target that we were calling for. Now, will we get a full retracement back up again? Okay. The reality of this one is, I would say, probably not, right? This data, again, we've heard nothing but kind of weak data out of the European Union, talking about where they're at. Again, potentially being the first to cut. The U.S. just got real strong data. Now, does that mean that the United States is not going to cut next year? No, it doesn't. I mean, should they? I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens in 6 months to a year. Maybe the end. I mean, originally it was always kind of like the end of 2024 is when they would start doing it. We'll see. Today's data basically pushes that starting date back, but you never know what's going to happen. Something catastrophic could happen. Who knows? Maybe we had COVID 2.0 in the spring. You never know, right? So with that, I would expect this one to kind of push back up again. Is this a great level to take, reversals off of? Not so much, particularly, but there are buyers building here. The fact that this one came down and this one didn't go as much, and we may have the third. This may be three in a row over here that we have to kind of push and roll back to the top side. So, oops, hold on. I'm trying to get my coffee. I gotta find a place to sit in my lap and mess my coffee spot up. Thank you, buds. I appreciate that. Thank you for giving my phone back. Yeah. No, we're not eating right now. You gotta wait till Daddy's done. Nah, you watch this, or Daddy will pick something else to watch. No, no. Here, you want to hold this? Here, hold this. There we go. You cut your nails. Okay, good. Um, so I would expect this to push back up today. Overall, I think the way to play this one right now is, whenever we see a parabolic move, and it really wasn't that parabolic in here, you're typically going to be looking for profit taking, typically around that level right there. Could we have a full reversal back up again? Sure, we could. It's only 22 pips. It's not that far. If we do get up there, then absolutely we'll look to get short. I think the way we play this one right now, and again, non-farm Friday, you want to be done by 10, 11 o'clock anyway. If we do roll back up again, I think we do the same thing. We start looking for Sunday night trades and say, okay, new week, what does it look like? We just got all that crazy data out there. Again, there will be comments, there will be headlines, things like that. But if we were able to kind of grind our way back up today, I think we have some great opportunity to take this short. Again, I don't know where we're going to end up right now. I don't have a crystal ball. But if we are able to push back up, or even if we end up in here, any push down, I think we look for this to continue to go lower. Now, we know we have buyers down here, just so we talk about this level. We know we have buyers there. They're not the greatest. I mean, there's a rally base and a huge punch off the top side of it. And there's not a ton of quality levels below it, but we do know it's something. So, overall, seeing the fact that we have these wicks starting to kind of form there also gives us a little bit more of an idea of saying, okay, you know what? There are buyers down here. Let's wash out all the news traders. If it comes back down and maybe it punches down now, it may actually give us a reversal point. So the option is, if we go up, we're looking for sells on Sunday night. If we rally back down again, what happens is we're looking for a Sunday night to US Open kind of rally back up again, giving us that weak dollar until the US market comes in, and then we should see kind of a renewed push to the downside. All right. So that's what we're kind of looking for the euro dollar. Euro pound, we talked, we were sitting down low. We said, hey, look for potential buying opportunities. Now, it is red, or it is in the green, right? It's been pretty nuts. We came back up. The European session sent it straight down, and the US session sent it straight back up again. But overall, we're still on the same channel. We haven't left the channel. We knew we had sellers up here, and guess what? I'll just do this because it's an easy horizontal. There's our sellers. We're in the same area, right? So at this point, I think this level up top is good. I think our level down below, we're still stuck in the same channel, and we've been in this channel since Friday of last week. So again, the extreme ranges of this channel is only about 30 pips, right? It has a daily ATR of 34.76. So the channel is less than the average daily ATR. So we're literally just going back and forth to both sides. And the reality of this one is, if if you really don't take some of the extremes, you can see we just keep touching. I mean, I'd say probably there's the top, no, top. So we would expect this to roll back and kind of come back to a stationary point. And the bottom side, again, it's kind of there, a little bit of a peak, a little bit, but these are the three extreme examples. There, you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, base 9, 10, 11, 12. This base from top to bottom here that's covering a majority of these, 19 pips. So, yeah. So overall, obviously we are at a point now where we expect this to stabilize a little bit. Both these markets only have 2 hours to go, and you can see it's looking like it's trying to pull a shit back right down in the middle. So I mean, the median point in here is going to be approximately 85.71. Um, yeah, we're kind of pushing back to that same area. So yeah, it's fine. It is what it is. Not what? Yeah, those dinosaurs, they're going to bang heads. Yep, those are packies. So yeah, I would expect it to pull back down. Use this as a proxy. Next week, though, again, the fact that we've heard comments now about the European Union having some issues and potentially, when they're going to start cutting rates. I think of these two, I think again, I don't think either of them is in a great situation, but I think overall, I think the European Union pulls the trigger first, and if they pull it, I think the pound pulls the trigger right after them. But the pound is in a higher I want to say I want to say higher tax bracket. It's not higher tax bracket, obviously, but they are in a higher interest rate position, right? So they have more room to go. Now, euro yen. We talked about the euro yen coming down. It actually did. 12 o'clock yesterday, we got another big burst down in the yen, and then we kind of bounced around. We're sitting at 155. We actually we're sitting right on it. We talked about 155 being a big deal and having some other areas in here. At this point, you can see this ended up punching. Oh, did you guys see that? Did you? He wasn't touching the keyboard, but it definitely deleted that line. You can see right here. We talked about this before. There's a little bit of the nice little punch out of it. That's kind of what we played with, that big push. So we can take this guy out. And again, the 155. We're skirting along it. We knew it would be a kind of a magnetic point. I talked about it yesterday. The fives and the double five, double zero. And you can see even with that big push, we based. Came back up a little bit, went down a little bit, based. Came back up, touched it again. Came back up, based, and we're sitting on there. European market closes in 2 hours. We'll see how much of a proxy play that we can get. Um, yeah, I still like this one on the downside. I think the next time we look for any buying opportunity, I think we're looking for down here. I think we're looking for that. We can bring this down. You can see. I guess if they were trading the 23 off that last one, it boomed and came up and it's playing. Missed that one by a little bit. Mm, Yeah, I think the biggest problem we have with the euro yen right now is we got to clear the 155. The 155 is going to act like a magnet. It's going to hold it down here before we get into news. Let's see. See, they're late week. Yeah, do I think that are they gonna raise it to 4.75? I think the chances of that are zero or negative zero, right? Are they gonna cut? I don't think they're gonna cut, but I'll tell you what, I think the European Union is first, right? Could we end the year at 4.25? Potentially, maybe like we give it like a 33 or 30 or 40. I don't know, 35, 40% chance of happening. I feel like they won't do it this time, but they're going to make a statement about it. We could potentially be doing it next time because the market has been overly soft, right? Right. Overall, I think this one pushes back down. I think we look for buys here. We may see this here. Sunday night we got the economic sentiment coming in on Tuesday. Um, I would say right now, if I'm going to bracket this one out, I'm going to go here and here. I'm going to say, I know there's the level. You know what? Let's move it up a little bit. Let's front run. So I'm kind of like I'm torn. I kind of want to take advantage of this, but again, I got a little bit of help from the news this morning. So I'm going to say right now, this is kind of like my top and bottom, right? I would say right now, this is kind of my top and bottom. A drop base, little push, test, and push. Although, if you use the base here, so no, no, what are you doing? No, 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 don't be a bad boy. Be a bad boy here. Don't be a bad boy. Yeah. So I would say right now, again, I think 155 acts as a magnet, bottom, top. We see how this one plays out on Sunday night. Pound yen, or pound dollar. Any surprise? Nope. Nope. No surprises here. Now, this one is funny. This one drove up at 4:30 this morning, kind of held, and then started to drop to the downside. What are you on my phone? What are you doing? Do you want to watch Daddy's phone? We want to do dual tablets? Okay, hold on. So this one had a great little push to the downside. I think again, is this a justified move? Absolutely. That data was absolutely very strong. Let's see. Which one you want? Here, you want Christmas one? Or was that you don't want Santa? Don't let Santa hear that you don't want Santa. There we go. Have you ever seen Santa's beard? Okay. So yeah, 100% justified. Big move, and again, we'll just use the 630 in there. You're talking about 81 pips. It's got an 88 pip daily ATR, so it's not quite beyond where it needs to be. It's reversing now, and again, makes complete sense. We'd mark this one off saying, hey, listen, great zone. No, because it kind of came in, it kind of hit it, kind of hit it, kind of hit it, went pretty deep, went pretty deeper. Like it's a reversal, potentially, maybe, right? If you get the right confirmation off of it, it didn't. What happened was it ended up going down and grabbing the levels down here. The last big push, right? The next level of buyers coming in. And it turns out that's where we ended up coming off of, right? And actually it went a little bit lower. It actually, you know what? It actually did it off of, and my bad. There's your base there. And then there's your confirmation push. So actually that's where it should be drawn. And you can see that's exactly what it ran into. So any surprise there? No. It looks very, very similar to what we saw in the Aussie dollar as well as the Euro dollar. Looking to push. Technically, if you were considering this as a parabolic move, you need to kind of get out. To be safe, probably right there is where you'd be looking to take this one out at. We can run fibs down and kind of look and be like, hey, is there anything to 23? Not really. It's in the middle of a big red bar, so it should go a little bit higher. Profit taking, I would say there before I'm willing to pull that trigger in the opposite direction. Honestly, probably here, right? Honestly, probably there. There's a little bit of a touch, and that's kind of what let it down. It's not near any fibs. So you're not going to get any help with that one. It's about 50 pips away. It's only got a 33 pip 4-hour ATR. So, yeah. If it gets all the way up there, is it going to have enough time to turn around and head all the way back down again? I don't think so. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I would say if we can get a Sunday night, Friday, Sunday, I think it's a decent spot. Yeah, 125.88. Um, you got about 68. So we're within range. So I would say, and again, I don't know where this one is going to be. I'll draw it here. We're looking for a base, right? We're looking for a base in here. I don't know where it's going to come up at, but somewhere in that level, right? Don't know where. Could be here. Could be here. Could be here. But somewhere in here, we're looking for a continuation pattern down. And I think it does roll back. So it may come up to here and go down, or it may falter. It may now that it's almost 10:30, so the profit taking will be almost done soon. We should see this turn and roll back down. So I wouldn't be surprised if we come down, we base, we push down, and then we end the week. I don't know, maybe we push all the way up. But I would say right now, pound dollar, two trades on my radar is a 125.88 short. And then when we come down, figure out where the base is, wherever, again, maybe it's like I said, maybe it's here, right? Wherever the base is around this level is where we're looking for the pullback on the side. We just don't have it yet. So, all right. Pound yen. All right. So we were talking about this one continuing to break through. We ended up getting that big 1230 yen spike down, like again, strength move. So we were talking about it coming down, basing, smashing, and then continuing to push lower. It ended up just smashing through, coming back up and basing. and then kind of smashed down again and kind of came up and grabbed it and grabbed it and came up. So we were calling for this one to go farther down, and again, it smashed through both levels. We were calling for a short below this one. I mean, if you had taken it right away, yeah, you would have been out. But the big spike down and spike up again is not an entry. The big spike down and the spike up again is not an entry. So neither of these two really qualified. We talked about it. Had you just had an order there, then yeah, it went. Stop it right now. You know, no. Um, Unfortunately, let's see. Let's draw this on here and let's do a horizontal line so we can kind of go back and look to see what we ran into. You can see we were looking for that to come to here. See, so I hate the yen sometimes. Look, we're in this wick right here, and that's where we hit. Um, that's what we ran into. The pullback with that's what we ran into. Now, there's a little area below it. There's a little area below it, and then we have a Harry Potter lower. So let's see what we got with over here. All right. So yeah, so this dotted line is where we had this Harry Potter too. So had you taken it on that time, it was out. Again, we want to pull back. So let's pull this off right now. We don't need this anymore. We went to that target, unfortunately. So let's pull it all the way out. And let's see what we got next. No, stop. You're hitting buttons again. You can get off my lap if you want, if you're going to hit stuff. Trying to figure out, again, very, very similar to what we have elsewhere, is that I'm going to say right now, that's going to be our top. This is going to be where our median point is, right? Let's change that to a yellow and black, right? Put it here to get out of the way. Um, all right. Let's see. And again, looking for the same pattern. Drop, up, up, up. Okay. Don't know where it's going to be, right? Don't know if it's going to be dead on. Don't know if it's going to be here. Don't know if it's going to be here, but looking for the same continuation pattern to the downside. A base in there, eating up the last bit of resistance that it has in there. A push lower, and then a pull back to grab the flips, and then a trend continuation back down again. Right now, let's see. We're about 180 pips from that level. So, it has a 165 daily ATR. It's going to slow down for today. But again, when we resume over the weekend, that's where we may have it come in. So, probably a push back down again. So yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I would say look for this to continue to deteriorate. Maybe we get him. Problem is this. This is what I'm worried about. I mean, we had again. That's what we're dealing with here. Back farther. This kind of stuff here, right? I mean, there's kind of like a news based candle. I mean, you're here, right? If we come down here in base, bam, you're right there. So it's a very there you go. Look, Yen Bull spy a ray of hope in BOJ policy hint. Yeah, I think so. And again, there's the hint, there's like the rumor right now, but man, if they actually do give us something official, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'd say overall more bearish, right? We may get a little bit of an uptick, but the fact that they're hinting, I do think the BOJ has something coming. I've said that for a while. So Yeah, look for this to come down. But right now, looking if we can get up to 182.16, like it. Could we get reversal off 178? Yeah, we could. There's some in there. Is it the greatest? No, but there is some in there. And then obviously, if we get the if we can get all the way to 176, it is a little bit of a run right now. I do see this one again continuing to push to the downside. Dollar CAD. Any surprise with the dollar CAD? No, not really. Again, we have oil surging. It's up now 2.65%. So we did see at 8:30. You did see a nice jump up. We mentioned this level yesterday. Like, are we interested in taking it? No, not really. One, two, three, four. Base one, two, three, four. Kind of went back and forth. And look, we're still basing here and still basing here and still basing here. And it was able to punch through. Again, it's not a strong level. We know that. But but we see it surging down. Yes, you know why? Rally up again. Strong dollar news. 100%. No way you guys can say any other thing. Strong dollar news. Profit takings coming in, and the U.S. session is now open right here on this first red candle, which means what? It means there's going to be bulls coming into oil, which again, when we have oil bulls come in, it also helps the CAD, right? Right? The Canadian dollar because they are an export country. So we are now up to 171.16. We were breaking through to 69 a couple days ago, 2 days or yesterday actually, and we're up 2.64%. That's a big move. That's decent strength. So we're seeing this pull back down again. So not surprised. Again, pretty ugly. Not a lot of great areas there, I would say, down wise. Again, there's nothing clean to buy it off of. There's probably going to be a little hiccup around the 61.8 here. There's a confirmed level 135. God, really at this point, until we get 135 and 136, it's just gonna. I think it's gonna chop back and forth. So we really need some weakness, but again, that I think the problem I have with this one right now is I think oil is just. I think oil is literally, for lack of a better analogy, it's like a powder keg, right? Um, we already have Middle Eastern countries now settling in non-US dollars. Putin's over there, and that's exactly what he's talking about. Is how to settle this in non-US dollars, because if they're trying to block part of the world out that has a lot of oil and we can sell into something else, then sure, why not? Um, that's over there what he's fostering. So yeah, and I think they'll fully agree on it. They just want money. They don't care. They don't really like the US, especially now. So um yeah, I feel like it's going to get more pressure from oil. It's going to get more help, more help. So, any buys and sells in dollar cat? Not really. I think let this one marinate. Let it go over the weekend and see what we got. Here you go. Now this is unfortunate. We were looking for this really to kind of turn in reverse, and you can see it kind of came down. Any surprise? No. Hey, shh, stop. It loaded up. It loaded up down here right before the news, and then kind of took off. So the market was not fooled. This is kind of right here. Um, We were really kind of hoping for more of a push yesterday. It looks like 10:30 here. It never came back up. It just pulled down, and again, still sideways movement. It's a shame that this would have been a target. Once it came down to here, um, you wouldn't have played this as a number one. You could have played it on this end, like you could have had it be this way now, right? Um, but you wouldn't have. It wouldn't have been number one, not for the news, right? It loaded up. It was going high. You could use it as a target, right? You could use that as a target and said, "Hey, listen, there's basing right in here. I'm going to use that as my level." It pulled down and loaded up before news. Actually, the news came over here, but it was already moving. So, yeah, I ideally this is where you could be in it now as it kind of punctured through the other side. But you were not going with the number one entry on this one. It's not a bad spot. I think it's fine. Did it go grab this one? It did. Yeah. Funny that that's what it grabbed. Right. I think the 61 level was a better level, but it was just too close proximity as strong as the. Stop. Okay, you're done. No more. Um, it was just way too close in too close proximity for news that was that strong. Okay. Where this one probably ends up, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, again, right now, this you could consider this a parabolic move, even though it started a little bit early. You would expect profit taking right there. If it returns back to the origin of the move, would not be surprised. It's very, very up, very quickly. Is it too late to get in now? Yeah, it's way. I mean, you guys can see it. It's accelerating. It's coming off an upper level. You'd already be at a 1 to 3 if you took it off that upper level. But for me, that would not have been. Once it pulled back from here, then yes, this you could have used. But no, no. It doesn't work with Daddy. The tears do not work with Daddy. No, no. No, no. Here. Here. Mommy's home today, so it's kind of like let's be extra whiny because mommy's here. Here, you don't want this? You want something different? There you go. See? Yeah. Ultra baby because mommy's home. So yeah, not surprised whatsoever. Once we had this hick back here, you're like, okay, there are sellers here. Let's see if it can slow down after the emotion is out. And that's what happened on this candle. Came up and so you could have taken one here, not here. Or not here, right? Dollar yen. Funny. Dollar yen does not appear to be moving. We talked about a base and we said, hey, listen, it could be here, it could be here. Well, what did it do? It came down and used it here. And that's when it took off late last night and pushed back lower. So we said, hey, listen, look for the base. We were actually sitting when we drew it. I said, I don't know. It could be here, it could be here, it could be here. Look, there's your 11 o'clock base from yesterday. There's your basing level right there. And there's your 1 to 3. Actually, I can adjust that a little bit. We'll leave it this big, but there was your base. 1 to 3 is actually there's 3 or 1. There it was. Right? Well, sorry. Should be there. But we just had a drone saying, hey, listen, we're looking for the base, then look for the pullback and go. And there it is. So again, this was a 7 o'clock entry, and you were out this at 12. And we're sitting right there. So um yeah, just goes to show you how important those bases are. You know, interestingly enough, a lot of the bases end up hitting like 11:30, 12 o'clock right after we get off. But yeah, we were sitting, we had the luxury of being at this red candle. We didn't know where the base was. We said, hey, let's see. Maybe it comes back up and it uses this level. Could be. But it formed its new base here and it left the basing area at 12:30. So about 2 hours after we got off and then gave us the nice little trade. So yeah, it's decent. Let's see what we got here. Let's go look at crude. Yeah, yeah. And again, you may say, well, why is crude moving so much? There was this pullback here, right? We had the overnight push down, and then really what happened is it loaded up for the news today. Now you may say, well, why is it going up? I mean, again, U.S. session tends to be more bullish, right? Shh, stop. No talking, please. Um, Again, why is that good? People are making more money, so I don't mind spending it on gas. More people got hired than they expected, and the unemployment rate shows that it's again. I hate the unemployment rate. I feel like the utilization rate is better, but the unemployment rate, it is what it is. It doesn't, people not in the job market, it doesn't adequately count. What? Stop. What's wrong? You want a drink? Is that what you want? You want a drink? Okay, daddy's almost done. Give me 5 more minutes, okay? He's ultra whining today. All right, you want to get down? You want to get down? You want to go cry in the other room by yourself? Daddy's had it. Um, so that's why we're seeing oil surge up here today. The reality is, it's probably going to turn right about there. You want to go in the other room? Go. Um, I don't know if you guys can hear him or the noise canceling software is going to work today or not. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, lots of fun. So yeah, I would expect it to turn. We're gonna look for that turn somewhere around here, about 71.64 ish. If you bring it down, you can see it's hiding behind the 23. It's kind of probably what set this lower. Um, this is what we're looking for right now. Stellar stepping in. Um, with the surge coming up, it would make sense. Remember, the oil market and the commodities market does close earlier than the end of the day. You will see movement, but typically by 12 o'clock, 12:30, this one flatlines and it is done. And it's out for the day. So we're seeing surges. I wouldn't be surprised if we come up and we kind of come up in here and we start basing around, maybe just playing around here until Sunday, and then we'll see what it looks like. Again, I think there could be big news. As I said, Putin being in the Middle East, meeting with nations over there, particularly members of OPEC plus. I think we could potentially be getting a headline. Is he there for Israel Hamas? No, no. He can say humanitarian, it's bad. No, he's not there for that. He's there for oil. They're gonna discuss oil, right? Making the prices higher, making more money, and settling outside of US. That's what he's there for. So could we get some type of a comment, proposal, idea? Yeah. So I think there's a risk of this one popping over the weekend. But then we should have a stabilization point probably and a little bit of a pushback down. But I think 70 will act as a magnet on one side. And again, we obviously have sellers sitting up here just a little bit higher. Again, this is where the most closest proximity sellers are. So I would say right now that these are probably the two levels right here where we have the ability to do a little bit of pushback. Probably the 72 mark, and then maybe like 72.65 ish. All right. Natural gas. All right. So naturally, guys, we talked about getting it long, and we're really kind of in the same spot. I know it says it's down. It's just because we were surging up here from yesterday. You can see it got quite volatile with the news that came out. It was a big drop down, and then we rallied back up again, and then we started going inside, and we're still inside, right? Let's take this one off, right? Here's where the sellers were inside of this level, and you can see from here, if you go directly across, that's what we ran into. And on the verse on the other side, again, it's here. And it's funny, it is, well, I guess it's 44. It's not horrible today, right? The snow passed. Um, what is it? Natural gas edges down despite bullish storage withdrawals with forecast sees mild, right? It's mild, right? Forever it's the El Nino cold winter, right? And now it's because it's mild. It's mild, guys. Mild. So we're basically in the same spot. Obviously the low here is that 149. And again, breaking through I'm sorry, 249. Breaking through 250 is a big deal. Let me mark that off. I should have done that before. My bad. Right there, that's 250. I would say right now that stabilization point is probably. I don't. I think we have a hard time. I think if we come back down again and you're looking to trade natural gas, um, again the top side of that is probably is probably this 250.05. All right, look for a potential bounce off of that. At this point, we've chop, and you can see it's a stabilization point. But if you wanted to mark kind of like here to here, is this an area where I'm like, yeah, that's a great long take shorts off of there? I would say that right now we move the Harry Potter up. If we're able to breach the top of that one, I would say that that's probably pretty decent. And it's the same thing. It's just the opposite pattern where we're going to base in, we're going to punch up, we're going to come back and then go higher. Again, somewhere in here, maybe it's there. I don't know. It could bounce two or three more times off this, 260 mark and go back down. Again, 260 also going to be an area. And again, I'll put the 260 on. Um, there you go. There's your 260, right? 250, 260. And you can see having it backstop there, but off this kind of wick behind the wall, one, two, three, four. So we're at the stage now where we have the potential push and vice versa. We have the push back to the downside. So, and they're both there. Gold. Okay. No surprise here. So we talked about 215 being an area. We left it because we punched through. We were looking to see if we could get a base. Unfortunately, the news just obliterated it, so we have to take it off. Not unfortunately. We were calling for that level. And yesterday we said, hey, listen, 2000 could be on the table. Now, big push down. It's pulling back up again. Absolutely 100%. All the gold shorts in there are now buying to fill their position. The buying pressure in there, we're seeing it push back up again. Exactly what it's supposed to be doing right now. If you run it down, the 23 really doesn't necessarily matter. If you want to take a more near trend, because yeah, this is sideways trend, but this is kind of where we started before we pushed, and really you should do it from here because that's where the downtrend occurred. Here we'll do it there. You can see that we didn't have much. Actually, this is where people will draw it. Yeah, I would say right now, again, this level is probably pretty important. It's right at the 61. 23 didn't do much. There's a little bit of actually, you know what? Let me drop this down real quick. Trying to look in here. See the wick? Push there. I was hoping that that was something different, and unfortunately, it's not. See this wick behind the wall? It's like, yeah, could that be the reversal? Maybe. Um, hmm, hmm. Yeah, this this is what it should be doing as everybody's getting out of those positions. This gold market will also close early. I always get them confused. I think gold's 130 and oil's 230, but I could be wrong. Oil maybe 130 and gold and silver 230. But obviously, the main of those tradings close a little bit earlier. So, yeah, it probably pulls back again. Makes complete sense. Everybody that made money off that is now closing their positions for the weekend. So you're seeing a reversal back. Um, you know, I think that's a great profit target if you are long gold. Watch and get profit. I think right now we could probably, again, kind of bracket this off and be like, hey, listen, if we can get the 135, there's a lot of selling in there. I don't know if we can get. I mean, maybe it's only 15 or $20 away. Um, I don't, you know, hmm, looking at this and seeing the time on this one, I'm almost kind of wondering if we start petering out in here, right? And then we start to kind of push down. And I think early next week is this. Whoops, not that push. Kind of over in here maybe. Um, reason I say this is because the data was so good. Remember, Powell's been very clear, right? Powell's not said, yeah, we'll probably do a couple cuts next year. They're like, yeah, I mean, you know, the Fed's been pretty consistent, right? Minus Bostic because he's all over the place, and Goolsby is kind of another one of those weird people. But they've been pretty consistent. Like, hey, listen, not till we're gonna keep it here for quite some time. Is quite some time 1 month or 2 months? I don't know. I feel like for some time, quite some time, I feel like it's longer than 2 or 3 months. Um, could we get could we get them next year? Maybe, but they've been pretty clear that they don't see it until the end of next year, unless something goes absolutely insane. And again, you can't predict that. So, yeah, I think it comes. I want to say that 2000 is going to start acting as a kind of a little bit of a magnet. So I would like to see it kind of push back down, and maybe potentially land there, and then we get a comment and we see it break low. So that's kind of where I'm at with this one. Silver again, profit taking absolutely should. We'd drawn this level yesterday, and you can see yesterday it came down and actually pushed that level pretty deep, and then kind of started the push back again. It didn't go super far. It kind of ran into sellers. We were saying, hey, listen, get us up to 2024, right? Give us another short from 24. It tried. It only made it to 23.88 before dropping back lower. So we can take these off. Let's go. Let's clean some of these up for next week. Let's pull that off. Don't need that. We can run this down if you really want. I don't need that level anymore. I'm gonna leave that one that's there. I think that one's still decent. This we can shrink. We know how long that took. Let's see, 23. We have a base sitting. It's not my favorite base, but there's a base sitting there. Here, get Harry Potter. All right. Do I want to play with that? Gonna look in there. So it is right above the 23. So if this is truly the bottom and we just start to rally back over the weekend or maybe today, again, I don't think it's today straight because it ends early. But if we start to push back again, maybe Sunday night we start to push higher as well as that dollar weakness is rolled in. You're gonna have people trying to settle at the 23 because now that it's driven down, it is the 23. There's also a level above it, and these two have been kind of front run off of that 23.91 level. So not the worst spot, right? But right now, I'd say silver shorts at 23.91, 22.90, 98 are both decent levels. Let's see what the craziness. And again, we've talked about this before. I mean, ping pong effect back and forth. All right, non-farm morning is opening print the best trades. Typically tends not to be. Again, look, parabolic move up, and again, hovering around the 104. What do we got here? Yeah, look, there's your 830. And 930 actually went. Any opening print there? No, not really. There's nothing confirmed in the over. It was totally dead. They loaded it up before the news this morning, and again, chop back and forth, and it was good. It's pulling back. Will not be surprised if it ends up coming. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the high for the day, the 46.62. If we start to pull back again, I don't know. Maybe people are like, man, feel good Friday. It's Christmas. The data was good. There's more people working than expected. They're spending money. This is awesome, right? So maybe we drive higher. But overall, as far as opening print one goes, nah, not really. I mean, it loaded it up down here, but it reacted to the news. I think the pulse forward was the correct call. And again, this big gap is because of the contract switch, right? Going from was it December to December to March. So yeah, so that's fine. Yesterday we went crazy. So yeah, so I mean, obviously these numbers are a little inflated, but from the open, you're still positive. But I'm not gonna be surprised if we pull back and we end up 46.40 somewhere in here. Not surprised. NQ. Yeah, look at this. Loaded up right for the news. Yeah. Yeah. Straight down. Came back up, loaded up, boom. And now it's turning and reversing. And again, I'm not going to be surprised if it comes back to the origin of the move, which is right there, which just happens to be at 61. I'm sorry, 61. 16,170, right? 16,172. So YM looks exactly the same. But look at this. YM just happens to be up at the whole number mark. 36,500. We came down, tagged it again, came down, came back up and used it. And then that's where we started. Actually, 9:30, we were at 36,500 and we rallied up. And then again, it comes back down again. So I would say overall, look for a end of the day target somewhere around this 36,500. Big level. A lot of people like to talk about that in both directions. Russell. Look at the craziness in Russell. Now, funny enough, you have this in here. You're like, yeah. But again, that's not going to hold for non-farm. That's not like a non-farmish type level. And you can see it came up and bounced away, bounced away, bounced away, bounced away, bounced away, bounced away. Base, 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 base. And then the news came out in this candle right here, which is from here all the way down to here. I love this. Look at this. There to there. And then the open, the close was literally there to there. Right? It's too small for me even to move. There. That's what the candle looks like. Right? Open and close the same. Wipe everybody out up top. Wipe everybody out below. Close at the exact same spot. And then what do? You shoot straight down, and they're like, ah ha ha ha, and then shoot straight back up again, and now it's turning reversal. So, yeah, they're wiping a lot of people out on this one on purpose, right? And again, what did it do? It couldn't even beat the guys at the top. So, it's funny. We talked about the up down here. The up down was right here. Right? Let's take a lot of these small levels. Yeah, we were talking about these for openings. We don't need them now. That one's out. That one's out. We'll leave that one there. That's a, don't need that. Rocket ship. Take the rocket ship off. Yeah, so there we are. So overall, I would expect us to end up somewhere probably in this range. I don't see us breaking down below unless something really goes crazy. Wouldn't be surprised if we come back to like the origin of the move and they just start to bounce back and forth. Again, it's Friday. Maybe we get a feel good Friday. It is December, so it's like a double good feel good Friday went there. It is what it is. But a lot of this kind of indecision back and forth. Oh my God, is this good or bad? Are they going to raise interest rates? Are people going to spend more money? Oh my God. And then it looked like it was great. And everyone's like, okay, it's going to be a good day that we're buying it. It's now reversing back on them, right? That's what you tend to see, right? That's what normal is. So with that, let's go ahead and do our drawing for the day. Got 4 in. We got 2 heavy hitters. Right? Got 4 in, 2 heavy hitters. I'm going to take this to 230 and then I will shut it down for the day. And overall, again, decent moves in those markets, right? I think the moves today were pretty okay. All right, here we go. And bam. All right, let's do the drawing. Winner of today's drawing is Ernest. Ooh, cue the bad guy music, because that would have been Neuro's 3rd victory in a row. And Neuro, you done messed it up because you went 6 and 1. You went 6 and 1, and you changed the formula. And you know what the crazy part is, Neuro? The last time you did this too, you also got stopped out. Ernest takes it. Look at that. Leaderboard comes in. Cue the music. Where is Ernest? Right here. Cue the music. Right? Bam. Look at that. He's got one of those, what's it called? That one's on you. I know, right? It's one of those Christmas hats, but instead of the Christmas hat that has like the white band and the white ball and then the red part of like the hat, right? It's like the black band with the black ball and the red hat, right? It's like the naughty version of it, right? Ernest is wearing that today, driving around town. He's like, yeah, I stopped the streak. All right, with that, I'm out of here. You guys have a great weekend. Ernest is Ernest is the Grinch. Yeah, exactly. Ernest is the Grinch. With that, guys, I'm out of here. You guys have a great, safe weekend. Stay warm, stay cool wherever you guys are at. I'll catch you guys Monday morning. Like I said, great data today. I think it's awesome. Look for some headlines and don't be surprised. Yeah, look at the consumer sentiment. Look, the world is dying, but yet the sentiment is going higher. Not only was there an adjustment, 69, that's a big push. And look, people are like, inflation. Inflation is not a problem. Look, inflation, it's under control. Like, we feel good about the inflation expectations, right? 4.5 to 3.1. People are like, yeah, but their sentiment is good. This is not the negativity, right? Right? This is not the negativity that they're saying that are there. So, pretty interesting. So, with that, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys next week. Have a good one. Take care. See you then.